My Campbell boxing talk here with Juan Diaz at Savannah's gym. Juan, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Juan's got a big fight coming up on the 28th of April. Acelino Freitas unification bout. How are you feeling going into this bout?
I'm feeling very excited. Little different from the other fights because it's a lot more excitement. It's a lot more of just good times. We all in the gym. It's just Savannah, myself, Ronnie, all my trainers having a good time because we're going into this fight and we seen it as we have everything to win and nothing to lose. Freitas is the man who has everything to lose.
Obviously, you classify this as the biggest fight of your career thus far?
Yes, I think so because I'm going up for the unification. I'm going against a 4-time world champion, and I think this is my opportunity to prove to the boxing public that I can be in there with those top contenders.
Talk about Freitas a little bit. I mean, he's 38-1 with 32 knockouts. He's been champion in 2 divisions. Talk about his stature.
Oh well, he's been a great champion. I've seen a lot of his fights coming up. He when I was 16, I turned pro. I started watching him fight first on HBO, and they had him as one of their main actually on Showtime fighters, and it's just been it's kind of crazy to me to think about it that I was starting off at age 16 and he was already fighting for world championships,
yeah.
And now here I am about to face him in a unification bout, and I just give him a lot of credit for everything he's done.
I believe you are the odds favorite, the betting favorite, but do you feel like you're the underdog going into this fight?
I sure do because even though the odds are in my favor, but I know that a lot of people who don't bet, I know they're gonna say, well, I think the champion, the veteran champion has a lot more fights, has a lot more skills to take the young guy. So, and on top of that, we're gonna be fighting in Connecticut. You have the Boston area who's full of Brazilians, so they're gonna make me feel like the underdog. Not that it's gonna matter when that bell rings, but all the exposure, the press conference, the weigh-in, all the attention's gonna be on him.
And furthermore, this fight's going to be broadcast throughout South America. How does that make you feel to be going to a huge worldwide audience?
Oh, it's amazing because it doesn't matter the turnout of the fight, the outcome. Whatever happens, I'm gonna go out there and just do what I always do. I go in a fight to fight and give fans a great fight. So if anything, I may win a lot more fans than just the general public here in the United States.
I know you've heard your critics who've said that you fought tough guys, but you have never fought anyone of the same level as you or a high level. Do you feel like this fight is going to be a way to silence that, get rid of that criticism?
Oh, most definitely. I think that everybody in the boxing world sees Freitas as a great champion, great power, and people tell me, a lot of people have told me, you're gonna get tested in this fight, and if you come out a winner, then we're gonna know you beat a true champion, you beat a great knockout puncher, and that's gonna prove to us that you are a great champion.
Okay. Tell us about your camp. Obviously, this fight took a little while to materialize. It was on and off, and different networks and things like that, and different opponents. Casamaro was in the picture, so it wasn't real clear when to start your camp. But you were already in shape. Talk about your preparation for this fight.
Yeah, I've been training since December when I was getting ready for my #1 contender in the WBA. And I started training for that, and I didn't get to eat real good for Christmas and New Year, so I was on a diet. And then I think the second week of January, that fight fell through, and then I took maybe a week or 2 off, and then Savannah said, you might be fighting against Casamaro in March. So I said, well, gotta start getting ready again. And that fight was about to happen, then it fell through. Then it came back on and it fell through again, and finally but I stayed in the ring, the gym, and not real excited because I didn't know what was going on, and all of a sudden the fight comes up with Acelino Freitas, and we got it done, and we just kept picked up where we left off.
Let's talk about that real quick. Your mandatory for the WBA is Prawit Singh Watch, a Thai fighter, which not a lot of people know about. I'm sure you've only seen a few of his fights on film,
Right.
but he's going to be fighting Jose Miguel Cotto, who you know very well.
Yes.
What do you think about that fight?
I think it's going to be a great fight, but I see Jose Miguel Cotto, and he has a lot of my style. He's a really aggressive fighter, and I think that's gonna take over in that fight. I think he's gonna become the I guess it's interim or the interim champion for the WBA.
I've heard that they may make the winner of your fight the WBA super champ. And
well, I think that's what they're gonna do. It's the winner out of Saturday night between Freitas and myself is gonna become the WBA super champion. So
okay, and then that'll be the next opponent.
Yes.
For the winner. We mentioned this is a unification bout. Freitas brings the WBO belt. You bring the WBA belt. Unifying the lightweight division is something that puts you in a league with guys like Roberto Duran, Julio Cesar Chavez. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's a great honor that at this stage in my career, everything that I have accomplished and winning on Saturday night is gonna make it that much better. And I see that why stop? If I unify one title, why stop there where I can put my names up with all those great champions? So I'm gonna go after the other champions of the division, whoever the champions are at the time when I decide if we're gonna unify.
I think that your fans have been able to kind of see you grow over the past year and to see you mature physically, but staying at the same weight. And talk about how you're different now than when you won the title, as far as your maturation goes.
Well, when I won the title, I learned. I was just starting to begin to learn how to box. Ronnie improved me a lot in that aspect of my boxing. But at the same time, I used to go in there and just leave myself wide open, just throw punches. Like, for example, if you see the fight with Lev Kasim, there's some points where he would get down and just hit me with a couple of good clean punches. I said, oh, okay, let's bring it on now. It's on now. And now I think that I've matured enough that if I get hit with a good clean punch, I know not to just jump on the guy and react off of anger. I gotta stay focused and stay to my game plan. And I think also one other thing that I've improved is my leg strength, my leg power. I think I'm 3 years older now. I'm a little bit stronger. I can mature more into the lightweight division. So now I'll be able to maybe push around guys a little bit more than what I used to do back when I was 20 years old.
Is it any harder now to make the weight limit 135 than it was then?
It was beginning to start to get a little bit harder, but I think that was because I was getting lazy. I would say I give myself an extra week to eat hamburgers or pizza. But for this fight, it was actually easier than the previous fights because I knew that either it was going to be Casamayor or Freitas, and those were big fights that I had to be at my best.
Everyone's known you as the Baby Bull, but now you're going by El Torito. Talk about the change.
Well, it's I think it's both now because Baby Bull is what the people know me by, but El Torito is because as you can see, I'm growing a little facial hair, and I'm maturing a little bit more. And at 23 years old, you're not a teenager, you're not a baby anymore, so it can't really be a baby anymore.
Part of growing up. Everyone wants to know about your progress in school. Talk about you're training for this unification bout, but still carrying a course load in college. Talk about your studies.
Well, I'm about a year and a half from graduating from school, and I think that's what helps me out a lot for these fights because right now, even now, I'm starting to tone off. But then again, it wasn't a hard day of training because it is the week of the fight. So if I didn't go to school, I would go home and just lay around, be lazy, and by 5, 6 o'clock, I'll be wanting to do something else. But instead, I go home, take about an hour rest, and go to school. And so I get home at 7:30 at night. I just want to lay down, watch TV, and don't do anything else. And I think school has helped me a lot in that aspect.
Have you been able to do much fishing?
No, not at all. Actually, I've been wanting to on Sundays when it's my day off, but my parents are real strict. They're like, "Hey, you better stay your butt at home because you're gonna spar tomorrow."
All right, last question. Talk to your fans. What should they expect to see on Saturday?
I just want to thank them first of all for all their great support that they've shown throughout the past years, and that on the 28th, expect a great tough fight. You know, we've seen Acelino Freitas. He can be a brawler. And his last few fights, he's been a boxer who likes to move around the ring. But I'm gonna try my best to make it into a fight because that's what boxing's all about. It's about fighting and giving the fights the fans a great show. So whatever he brings to the table, you know, I'm gonna make him fight.
All right, Juan. Thanks a lot. Good luck on Saturday and bring home the belts.
Thanks, Mike.